because to me it's more than a concept, more than just a collection of songs, and it's a concept to me as well. And basically the idea came to me when I was on a walk in New York, and I was on the phone with one of my best friends who happened to be going through a really difficult time, and told me on the phone that she had just bought a ticket to Paris, which was very out of character for her, and she was terrified, and she was going to go to Paris alone on a whim on the weekend that was going to be difficult for her, regardless of where she was in the world. And I felt so inspired by that, knowing it was out of her character to do something so daring, I guess, for her. And so I called her a tender warrior on the phone, not really thinking anything of it, and we got off the phone, and I kept walking and started thinking about what that phrase meant to me. And I realized that all my closest friends are what I would consider this, a tender warrior, which, if I had to define, to me means somebody who, through all the terrible things they have going on in their lives and all the hardship, they make a conscious effort to stay emotionally vulnerable and to be sensitive and to really try to make choices out of, and be courageous, even though it's really hard. And so I think that right now we're going through a really hard time in the world. There's so much aggression and so much violence, so much confusion, and a lot of fear. And this fear can, as we all know, manifest itself into more aggression. And I find it difficult sometimes to face confusion with compassion, towards myself and others. And I've noticed from touring for many years and talking to people like you guys, and after shows and a few that I recognize even in this room, that it seems as though we, at the risk of generalizing, I think we all have this sort of sensitivity in us. And I say that because we're in a living room right now in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, together, to sort of experience art and connect, I think. I mean, that's at least what I'm here for, to be able to see you guys and feel less alone in such a difficult time in the world. And so I wanted to create this sort of club as a reminder, first to myself, but to anyone who's interested, that there's so much reward in staying tender through hardship and confusion. And I find that when I do my best to be sensitive and to try to stay vulnerable as opposed to shutting down or that kind of thing, I attract like-minded people, and that it just makes my life healthier. And so I feel so fortunate to be out on tour right now and to be able to gather in small rooms with you guys, and to remember that through such difficult times, there's clearly a lot of good in the world and a lot to be grateful for. The fact that we're all here together to celebrate art, to me, is there's nothing more beautiful, and it reminds me how wonderful of a world we live in. And I think that right now I need that reminder more than ever. And so I want you all to know how much I appreciate you coming here and being here tonight, to just connect in a healthy way.